the heart of Broadway here in historic downtown Cape Girardeau. Oh my God! It's Podzilla 1985 After Dark.
I thought you said low energy.
That is low energy.
There's low energy.
Hey. Naughty.
I'm really sad I finished my drink already.
Oh,
What?
I'm thirsty.
You want some water?
No.
Why don't you go over to the faucet and drink it like the dog you are?
I ain't drinking
God
from no
damn.
analog faucet.
just say an analog faucet.
Yeah.
Well, it's not digital. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's Thursday, May...
It's April.
It's April. Fucking Christ.
It's April 4th.
It's April 4th, and...
Crazy fucking thing is that it's April.
I know, right?
I wish it wasn't April. I wish it was June. Because that's when I can move.
But I would like to enjoy the convention first. Then it can be June.
Yeah. Then it could be October.
What's
Why
going on in
are we
September?
making time go faster?
Oh, and then it could be Christmas.
Time already goes too quickly. All right. If Zach's going to keep talking, we're going to have to get him a goddamn microphone.
Let's get him a microphone. God damn it. We do this in the first place.
It's in
Zach,
the
grab a
bag.
microphone and pull a seat up. Zach Kurg. Oh, by the way, my name's Shannon.
We can't just keep having Zach fucking talking off
That's true.
screen.
Well, he's sitting over there.
And he's so goddamn quiet.
He's like,
you're going to need a cable too.
he's doing that thing where it's like, well, I won't be on the show. And then he's just sitting over there talking enough that we'll invite him. He's like the customer that walks around the store going like, oh yeah. And eventually I go, what, man? What? What are you looking at, buddy?
Just share with the goddamn class. I know
Just
you want to.
tell everybody so we can move the fuck on. So Lindsay's grabbing that. My name is Shannon Young. I'm hosting tonight here on this Thursday show.
Are you having trouble finding the cable, Lindsay?
Yeah, I'm just not digging deep enough.
With me is Jesse Kimball. That big chungus?
Get this figured out.
All right, I assure you Jesse Kimball's here. I promise.
He's here.
I'm
All right.
running into stands.
Lindsay Wolfgong's here with us tonight.
Hi.
Allie could not be here. She is at work. Mandy
She's
could not be
being an
here.
adult.
She's also at work, unfortunately. Although she did stop in earlier today. We shot the shit a little bit. And joining us tonight, making along. Oh, Zach, hold on. Oh, you're pulling a cord there. Yeah. Let's slip
that 360
down.
controller is gonna eat it.
All right, there we go. Zac Kurgas, ladies and gentlemen,
Hello.
who will get around to his microphone eventually. All right.
Let's see if he can actually stay on the goddamn microphone.
Yeah. All right, Zach, tell us how you're doing so I can give you a mic check real quick.
I'm doing all right. How's everyone else doing? No?
You're
Yeah,
gonna have
bad?
to get way louder.
Bad.
than
He's
that.
fine if he stays that way.
Like this?
But he won't.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as he gets excited about something, he's gonna just.
What if I get excited? I'll just move it a little bit.
I have
gotta move.
I have him pegged. I'll just keep an eye on it. So Zach's joining us here tonight. We were talking before the show about Courage the Cowardly Dog. Actually, we're talking about a lot of things before the show. If you want to hear what we were talking about before the show, $1 Patreon. Jesse's already rubbing his eyes.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. Jesse's very tired. This has been a really busy week for me.
Yes, yeah. Tuesday. Tuesday was big.
Tuesday was election day.
Long day.
And I like this entire week though has been except for Monday. Monday was the only day that I didn't have anything going on.
Had a friend run for something, and he won. So I want to give a shout out to Tom Harness, who is a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. He's actually
That's
one
a lot of friends.
Well, he's one of Kevin Huntsberger's good friends. You know, Kevin Huntsberger, of course, a friend of the show.
Then why didn't you just say friend of a friend?
Because I wanted to be dramatic. Kevin,
See, what it sounds to me like is you're saying Kevin Huntsberger, fuck you,
No, I would never say that to Kevin Huntsberger.
because you're not my actual friend. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, we've only hung out once in the 4 years I've known him. Well, maybe 3 years. So we need to hang out more. Actually, we hang out at the Stride shows. Kevin, of course, is the ring announcer for Stride. He also hosts my 1-2-3 cents over on the Jittery Monkey podcast network, which I highly recommend. It's a great show. And Tom Harness was running for, I think, Alderman, and won. And Tom Harness is a friend of another friend, John Musgrave, who was my journalism teacher in college. They're actually working on like film stuff together. So it's this big thing. It's this huge network, and it's one of those. It's crazy who you know and how it all kind of comes back together at some point. Because I haven't talked to John Musgrave since I was in college, which was years ago, and he kind of popped back up on my radar. We're friends on Facebook, and then you see your friend, and all of a sudden they're friends with another friend that they shouldn't know, and then you're like, oh shit, you guys are friends. That's great.
I do say that pretty frequently, though. A lot of times it's just Kurgas over here.
Well, Kurgas is friends with literally everybody.
He accepts anybody throws a friend request to Zac Kurgas. He's smashing that accept button.
It's like he's like the male Mimi. He's male me.
Mail me.
Taking all the friends on Facebook. I'm very strict about who I add on Facebook. I used to be. I got a little softer, but I'm trying to be strict.
My Facebook friends list has a like the pending notifications. I have a lot of people in limbo.
Oh yeah, whenever I started in wrestling, I've got so many in limbo. And it's nothing against them. Like if you're listening to the show and you tried to add me as a friend on Facebook and I never accepted, it's not a shot at you at all.
So to the people that I have added, because I'm in that same boat, and you know who you are. If I've added you, if I've accepted your friend request, that is an honor.
What about you, Lindsay?
What?
How about your friends on Facebook?
I mean, most of them are people I know.
Are you friends with your roommates?
Most of them.
She's not friends with Allie.
Oh,
She's still not friends with Allie. Yeah. Which is fine. It gets
Got a
complicated.
friend request from Glacier, and I saw you and Ken are the mutual friend.
Wait, he sent you a friend request?
Uh-huh.
What the fuck? That's cold-blooded.
That's funny.
It is funny because like I sent him a friend request the day after the show, and he accepted it like within 10 minutes. And then Dalton sent him a friend request and didn't get a reply for days. And he sent in fucking Lindsay friend requests. Oh, did you add him?
Is he friends
Not
with Dalton
yet.
now?
He is.
No,
Okay.
well, did he had to have just done it
He did,
because
yeah.
when it showed mutual friends, it only showed you and Ken.
Yeah, no, and that surprises me. I figured more people would be friends with Glacier because he was such a nice guy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we meet a lot of people in wrestling nowadays, and I think Glacier's, other than like Dan Severn, Glacier's probably like the nicest dude I've ever talked to in wrestling. Just a treat.
It's just extra funny because Lindsay, did you say a word to Glacier?
No, I don't think so.
He was probably scrolling through. I like to think that so I posted a picture of me and him together. And I like to think he saw that tag and he was like, clicked on it. He's like, oh, yeah, I remember him. He's a nice guy. And he's just like, well, I wonder who he's friends with. And he's like, whoa, look at the coconuts on that tree.
Ha ha ha.
That was fucked
My
up.
blood might be cold, but doesn't mean I don't get hot blooded. My engine's revving. My penis is lengthening.
All right, we're done.
By-
That was
okay.
it. That's it.
There's a reason that Kevin Huntsberger barely
Acknowledges
this show, and Tom Harness definitely doesn't acknowledge this show, and now he can't. So
You know, though,
ha,
Podzilla After Dark, though, now is like the most popular show on the network.
it is. It's the kids love squalor. I've said it before.
Like of the top 5 episodes for the last month, because I was looking at this the other day. Oh, also that reminds me, I'll get to that in a second. Top 5 episodes, 4 of them are After Dark.
I think the other one's Nerd Up, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then that was the thing I was going to bring up. So Texas, y'all slouching, California,
Passed you up.
as they've officially taken the number 2 spot, like
Nice.
the second most listened to state. So I know Kaz listens.
Kaz is
he's
out in Cali,
California.
yeah.
But if you are from California, because this worked with Texas,
You want to know?
I want to know. If you're from California, I want to know. Find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Podzilla1985. Hit us up. Let us know who you are and how you found us.
Because
curious.
we've made really good friends based on finding out who our listeners are. Of course, Zane Laney just celebrated our 2-year anniversary today, I think, or
Yeah.
yesterday.
Crazy that we've known Zane for 2 years.
I know, right? Like
I still think of him as like he just found us a few months ago.
Oh, he's a new fan. Yeah. Ciro Viegas.
Yes.
We found from Texas.
Yeah,
he was one of the
yeah,
guys
that was
that
the-
message. Yeah.
And he was one of like 4 people from Texas that sent us a message.
Tori Class just posted a. Did you see the message in the Podzilla?
Nope.
Oh, let me find it real quick.
I mean, I can find it real quick.
You could. We all could.
That's true. That's true.
But,
I just haven't been on Facebook
Wait.
like at all today.
He posted a thing about our picks for WrestleMania, and he made a little graph of them. So
Oh,
that
that's cool.
was pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, we're very good friends with our fans, especially like the ones that reach out and talk to us. Like
We love fucking like fan interaction.
we're not like
Hit
those
us
other
up.
podcasts that won't remember your name, whoever they are. But yeah, so please reach out to us. Also, I mentioned it on the show last night. I'll mention it here again. We just celebrated our 4-year anniversary 6 days ago. Our very first podcast, WrestleMania 31 preview. Myself, Hunter Hendricks, Louis Benson, and Zach Price. And we celebrated the 4-year anniversary show was WrestleMania 35 predictions, which was last night. Actually, technically it was your show, Nerd Up. But I don't know if you guys mentioned it or not.
Nope,
No.
because I didn't know. I knew 4 year was coming up, but I mean, in fairness, like
To be fair, he was stuck with me and Mandy, and it was a little bit of a train wreck.
Was it just? Oh my god! So why didn't you should have told me? If I'd known you were stuck doing the vagina monologues, I would have helped you out.
I mean, I thought about sending you a message, like, I know you don't like being on shows whenever you would have normally had a day off. So
I like being on Nerd Up occasionally, just because like you guys always. It used to be that like all the shows I did were the super serious shows, so we would talk about like violence and gun violence and politics, and you got to do Nerd Up, and I was always jealous of that. But now with Thursday show, like. This is as silly as it gets.
It really is.
It don't get any sillier.
But no, since I know you don't listen. The Thursday show got to be such a train wreck that not Thursday show, the Nerd Up. At one point, we spent I think 10 minutes
talking about
Lindsay and Mandy having to pee through Avengers. Because it's gonna be it's gonna be just over 3 hours, like 184-minute runtime. So it'll be just over 3 hours. And 10 minutes. I let that go on far longer than it should have.
I would like to. I don't think there's any way to find out how many episodes we've done. Is there?
It should be. Yeah, total number of episodes.
826.
What?
We've done 826 episodes of Podzilla 1985.
So we're going to have to do something big for the 1,000th episode, right?
I never thought we'd hit 1,000.
I didn't either.
Like,
I didn't think we would have lasted a year.
I mean, I did just because I thought we'd get bored eventually. I figured 2 years would be the max, and here we are 4 years later. And for the insider info, I have tried to kill this show so many times. I have tried to, like a good first date, I have tried to pull out as hard as possible.
All right, so all of you need to hit us up on Facebook and tell Shannon why he shouldn't quit the show and try to kill it.
Well, I figured the show, I had two minds of thought on that was either the show would do great after I left because you guys would take care of it and it would continue to succeed, or that my fear is that Shannon's not here to edit all the other shows that Jesse doesn't do, therefore there are no other shows other than the one Jesse does, and then it would just turn into the Nerd Up podcasting network.
That could happen,
which very easily could have happened. Because
I would have kept the Thursday show going at the very least.
I think Wednesday would continue. I think Asa and Dalton and maybe Allie, I don't know, would do pro wrestling. But all the Tuesday shows would probably die.
Yeah.
Which just means another day off, which is great.
Well, because I only do one of the Tuesday shows, which we didn't do this week because of elections. Which we could have. No, that still would have gotten started really late. So no, I'm not down for that.
So I was in here Tuesday night, myself, Allie, and Hunter, and we were playing Battlefront. And I was like, we could just do a show real quick. Like, Hunter, you ready to come back? We'll just pop it on and just we'll just do a quick show where we just sit around. Our idea was that we were just gonna sit around in like an Eric Andre style thing where it was just super quiet. We're just like, so what are you doing? And then Hunter would just be like, I don't know. And that would just be the whole show, is us doing that for like 30 minutes, which we thought was hilarious, but
would not have made for good.
It would not have made for good listening. People would.
It would have been a better video.
Yeah, well, no, because then they'd have to see me. But
it just would have been awful. Like that's somebody's first fucking show. They're like, all right, wait, what the fuck? How does this have so many followers?
Either this is like the most brilliant show I've ever heard, or this is the dumbest thing I've ever experienced, and it can be both. It can be both.
It can be both.
Zach, we have a little segment we do here on the show. Called What's in Zach's Pocket?
That's not a segment on this show.
Oh, apparently it is now.
Zach, what's in your pockets right now?
All of them or just one of them?
All of them. Put it on the table.
I'm thinking Zach doesn't. He doesn't have much in his pocket. It looks like he's got a wallet. His phone's not even in his pocket.
What kind of wallet
now.
Is that?
That's a Nickelodeon wallet.
Oh, Nickelodeon wallet.
That's
Okay.
90s Nicktoons.
Which is ironic. We're going to talk about cartoons here a little bit later.
90s cartoons.
I think I see Stimpy on there. Switchblade, maybe.
Yeah.
Is that an actual switchblade?
It's a pocket knife.
Yeah.
That's a switchblade.
Yeah.
It's not a switchblade.
Wait, it shoots out,
best you
doesn't
can
it?
get
Can I see it?
switchblade
Can I see it real quick?
Yeah.
Does it shoot out or does it go from the side?
Goes from this side.
Yeah, it just has it has a little a little handle. Like it's an assisted opening.
Yeah.
But it's not spring loaded.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All
And
right.
then it also has a windshield breaker and a seatbelt cutter.
Ah, shit. And he's got my fingerprints on it now.
Thanks, buddy.
That's the worst part.
And then a pack of cigarettes.
And a pack of smokes.
Yeah.
What do we got? L&M?
Yeah.
What's that stand for?
Fuck if I know.
I used to have a couple
enjoying
friends that
torturing
smoked
Jack.
L&M, and whenever somebody asked him, was like, I don't know. It's just the cheapest shit they had.
That's why my friend who used to go, we used to get beer at, I think it was Schnucks. I don't drink, but he does. And he got the cheapest beer possible, and it literally just said, like, it was a white can, and it just said beer on it. You know, it had no brand name or anything.
The cheapest beer that I've ever had was actually from Walgreens. It was something ridiculous. It was like $3 for a 12-pack.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And it tasted like straight ass. It was the nastiest thing I've ever tried in my life.
I think the brand name on that was Ass Water, though, wasn't it?
Was it
Country ass water.
just a picture of a toilet?
Yeah, well, it's a picture of just a giant fat ass with an oil pan under it. And there's lights baking him, and it's rolling off his ass and down the crack and into the oil pan.
See, they just drained those hillbilly washing buckets.
Oh, Tanner.
Yuck.
Why would you do that? So I thought about doing a big thing on tonight's show. It's like, hey, it's our anniversary show. Let's talk about like the past and all that. But we've done that every anniversary show, and it always just turns into like awkwardness and us shitting on the 50th episode, which is, I maintain, is still the worst thing we've ever done on the podcast.
I don't know. That first episode of Nerd Up was pretty rough too.
Yeah, I've heard tales about that.
Thanks, Mr. Blue.
I've also there was the episode that me and Lindsay and I think it was Tanner, we went into the Real Rock Studios. It was on like a Saturday or a Sunday or something like that. Remember this? When we recorded with Hunter? But because it was so last minute, we literally had nothing to talk about. So I pulled up like a 50 questions to ask your boyfriend thing, and we kind of discussed that. And it was just so awkward. And it was the first, I think it was the first Sunday show technically Hunter was ever on, but it wasn't actually a Sunday. We recorded on like Friday and just waited. It was bad. I think that's why he quit the show, honestly.
Well, plus, like, if we start talking about our history, like, Kurgas here has only been on one other episode that I know of.
Two.
Oh, two.
He did
One was
Pokemon
terrible.
Conspiracies and
the Pokemon one.
the Mr.
Oh,
100.
I forgot about the Pokemon because that was the one where I was out of town, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do need people's opinions of what Pokemon conspiracy they like, because I think at Cape Comic Con we're going to do our Pokemon panel on Pokemon conspiracies.
Well, we're gonna get the full details of that in just 1 second. I want to remind everybody while we're talking about this real quick that Zach was also on one of the worst episodes we've ever done.
Yeah.
It was a Mr. 100 Presents with Zac Kurgas.
No.
That
was the birth of the food library.
it was because I walked off the show, and it's the only show I've ever walked off of. And fucking
And
Ethan
you
Craigmiles.
left Ethan.
Ethan
and
was
Zach.
like, "So Zach, what's it like being a Christian?" And then
That was terrible.
and then my favorite, like, what's it like? I work at the food library. So of that show, something golden came out of it. So you should always be proud of that.
The food
That little
library.
bit. Yeah.
Every little bit counts.
Yeah, because that's now like our go-to for
Any job.
like any job.
Yeah.
Food library.
Look, it's whatever library.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like Lindsay works at a shoe library,
Sport library.
sport library. That works.
we work at the game library.
I
Yeah.
work at the donation library then.
Yeah. I was gonna make a really bad joke about Dalton and which library he works at, but I'm not gonna touch it.
I also thought
Just
of
like the things that that is in his library, I'm not gonna touch it, as he should not touch them.
it's true.
Now, Lindsay, tell us all about this. So we got the Cape Comic Con coming up, April 27th, 26th, 27th, 28th.
Yes.
And you've been talking about doing a
Saturday,
panel.
I have been co-opted into helping with a Pokemon panel, and we've been discussing what to talk about at the Pokemon panel. And I think we're going to talk about Pokemon conspiracy theories, but I'm not entirely sure which ones I want to cover.
Can you just play our podcast
No.
at the event and lip sync?
No. But I was going to go back and reference which ones we went over because I don't remember.
We did 2 episodes.
Did we do 2 episodes
Yeah.
worth of that?
Because I
Okay.
think Zach was on part 2.
Yep. Zach was
Okay.
on part 2. Part 1, I wasn't.
Because I thought about when we first go in, kind of polling whoever comes in and seeing which generation of Pokemon is the most popular and pull from those.
It's 1, right?
Well, I meant of the people that are in there, of their opinions, which generations they are more interested in
Because
and pulling
from-
from those.
Yes, for a lot of those kids, it'll be Gen 3, I think,
Well, depending on the age
It
group.
depends, yeah.
or Gen 5.
But if it's like our age group, it'd be Gen 1. It's like
Nobody
the Power
likes
Rangers.
Gen 5, Jesse.
Actually,
Or
that's
is
not
it Gen?
true.
No, it's Gen 4 that everybody likes, right? And then Gen 5. Is
I mean,
the better
it's a toss-up between 1 through 4.
Because 4 is the Diamond Pearl Platinum,
Yes.
right? Yeah. 4 like is the one that's really, really popular with a lot of people in their early 20s now.
I was going to say that it's like Power Rangers. It depends on how old you are to which version you like the most. But that's not true because no one likes the Power Rangers past like the second season.
Oh, I know a few people. I'm not going to disagree with you.
After like what was
I don't
it,
give
Ninja Storm or something like that, it was like
Dude, I don't know.
bullshit fuckery Rangers.
I stopped watching with Turbo.
That's
like
when
if,
I stopped, was Turbo.
If Asa were here, he would correct you. And
I'm
I
sure,
feel
Zach, you watch Power Rangers still, don't you?
Sometimes.
I'm pretty sure my brother watched Through Time and Space.
Asa likes to say that he watches. Or
Please
he
tell me
watched,
that's the name of his Power Rangers Through Time and Space. That's just the fucking.
Well,
sounds
no,
like a soap opera.
there was Power Rangers Space and then Power Rangers Time Force or something like that.
I like the one where they were like mages.
Mystic.
Mystic,
I
they had,
remember
like,
us
capes and
randomly
they-
watching Mystic
That was
for a
kind of
while.
neat. Yeah, but no, it was all bullshit.
Yeah, Asa likes to say that he watched Power Rangers far beyond when it was socially acceptable to keep watching Power
I
Rangers.
did.
Yeah, but to be
Yeah.
fair, Asa also said that Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time, was a
Was
good
his
movie.
favorite movie for the longest
Then
time.
he watched
Then
it
he
again.
watched
and
it again, and-
You could hear the glass shattering.
Yeah, those rose-colored glasses just shattered off his face,
Yeah.
cut everyone in the room.
It's kind of like what I always, I always talk about how much I fucking loved Beast Wars. Then I watched
The animation is so rough to go back and
Oh my
rewatch.
god!
Whenever they added, because we have it on disc, but you know how when you have something on disc, you still don't want to get it out and put it in. So when they added all the Mario Brothers cartoons to Netflix, I remember because Allie had never seen them. Lindsay and I, of course, have like seen all of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, you've got to watch this. This is so much fun. It's fucking Mario the cartoon, and we're watching it. I'm like, this is bad.
This is so dumb.
Bad on so many levels.
I still like it.
Mandy's son likes it a whole lot.
The Mario Brothers cartoon.
Yeah,
I mentioned he's probably also watched the Sonic cartoon,
probably.
which was much better. To be fair, the
I like-
Sonic cartoon was a better show.
I have not gone back and rewatched it since I was a kid, but when I was a little kid, fucking loved that Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, the one
I
with
liked Captain N, and it's also terrible.
I only remember Captain N. Like after you guys showed me a clip, I was like, "Oh yes, no, I do remember watching
I
this."
just
now.
remember loving his look because he used the zapper as a gun.
He had the zapper, the controller
The-
was
and
his
power
belt.
glove. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now, when you say Sonic, I have to know: are you talking about Sonic AM or the Goofy Sonic cartoon?
the goofy Sonic cartoon.
Oh, really?
I
So you're not
think.
talking about the serious one?
It depends on which one like the one where he ate chili dogs. That's the one that I liked with
Sonic
Urkel.
X.
Okay, that's the good one.
Yeah,
Because there's another one that's like super goofy. It was called, I think that one was, I don't remember what it was called, but it was like Sonic and Tails, and then you had Robotnik, and then he had like 2 robots, and that was it. It was just like a very Looney Tunes style cartoon where they would just dick with him constantly. Whereas the Sonic AM show had like an overarching plot.
Yeah.
And it had, what was her name?
They had the bunny rabbit.
Yeah, which I don't remember her name
I
either.
know,
I'm just trying to remember. Sally Acorn. Sally
Yeah.
Acorn was the girl he was in love with, and Jaleel White actually did the voice in both.
Did
he did.
I
He
knew
did.
Jaleel White did the one where he ate chili dogs all the
Yeah,
time.
no,
That's
he-
the one that I liked.
He did the voice for both. So did it have a really like fucking uppity French guy?
I vaguely remember
Antoine?
that happening. It's been, dude. Like again, I have not watched it since I was probably 7, 8 the last time I watched this show.
I have it on DVD.
So I mean that's been like over 20 years.
They just announced, I saw it today, there's no video of it yet, that they showed the first footage of the Sonic movie at some con that's going on right
Oh
now.
god.
Did you hear about the game?
No.
They're making a game that's a
Based on the
movie
movie?
tie-in. Yeah,
Oh, no.
it's actually going to have scenes from the
I meant to
movie
tell
and
you
the
about
game.
that.
That's not a good idea.
No,
it's
it's
a terrible
not.
idea. And it's supposed to be a mainline Sonic game. But yeah, apparently this is the Sonic game that Sega said was coming. It's a movie tie-in.
Thank God they're putting out that Sega Mini to get some goodwill back after this comes out. But they showed Sonic running past a cop and the cop like pulling him over kind of, and he goes past the cop. The cop's got the gun out, the speed gun. He chases him down, and when he finds him, apparently Sonic goes meow. I get it because he's pretending to be a cat. And,
Wow.
And then there's another one where it shows Jim Carrey as Robotnik.
What?
That's what I want to see. I want to see Jim Carrey as Robotnik.
I do want to see that a whole lot because I was really hoping that it was just going to be CG. Like they were gonna, like it's still gonna probably look terrible because the way Sonic looks. I can only imagine what they're gonna do with Robotnik. But the way the movie's going, it's probably just gonna be Jim Carrey with a goofy ass mustache.
That's the film. That's how you sell it.
And the little round glasses.
Nope.
No, just the goofy mustache.
So apparently he's not bald. But then they show him later and he is bald, so maybe he loses his hair during it. I don't know.
Sonic's
He
gonna
wears a
make him lose
wig.
his hair,
Sonic runs by him so quickly,
and that's why
that his hair flies
That's
off.
why he hates him.
I'm with Lindsay on this one. He has a wig, and when he runs by him, the toupee just flies right off there.
One thing I always thought about is like if they ever made a Sonic movie, I gotta have Jim Carrey as Jim Carrey in it. Because if there's one thing I love in Jim Carrey films is when Jim Carrey is at his most Jim Carrey. That is sarcasm for those of you that aren't catching this. Because I don't like Jim Carrey. I didn't even like him on In Living Color. There are very few things about Jim Carrey that I like.
There have been several movies there are several Jim Carrey movies that I really like.
I'm trying to think of one that I really liked. Because I used to love Ace Ventura.
What?
I love the Ace Ventura movies. Dumb and Dumber is phenomenal. I really like Cable Guy.
Okay, Cable Guy. I like Cable Guy.
I like
didn't
the
like
number
Cable Guy.
23.
I've never seen 23. Number 23.
I fell asleep in
I
theaters
liked
watching
the
that movie.
Majestic.
I like
seeing the
Bruce
Majestic.
Majestic is
Almighty.
good.
I
Bruce
liked
Almighty
Liar
is
Liar.
awesome. I also like
Yeah.
Liar
The
Liar.
Pen
a
is
lot.
blue.
The pen is royal blue.
What are you doing in here, man? I'm kicking my own ass.
Liar Liar was a legitimately good movie.
The only thing I
and then
remember
the
about
terrible
that-
sequel, Yes Man.
I just remember the part where the girl's in the elevator and everyone's been really nice to me. And I never saw the movie. I just remember the preview. She was like, everyone's been real nice to me. And he looks down and he goes, that's because you got big. And then it just cuts to the doors opening. He's got like a black eye. So I don't actually know what happened. I can only assume.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's exactly how the scene played out in the movie too, because it was supposed to be kind of like towards like the younger audience.
We got we have to award our motherfucker of the week.
Oh,
Who
we
gets
didn't
it?
mention Truman Show.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
That one's
like that
interesting.
I liked it a lot when it was called Ed TV.
Yeah.
Chirp, 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 chirp.
Starring Matthew McConaughey.
Oh,
All
Matthew
right.
McConaughey.
All right.
Be a lot
So who's our
cooler if you
motherfucker
did.
of the week,
I
Shannon?
actually don't have one. I have not thought about it.
I've kind of ignored the news, to be honest. So
I mean, I could easily just say it's Donald Trump because, every show. It could also be Vince McMahon after the John
Yeah.
Oliver piece came out. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I like that a lot.
Scathing but fair is what I thought of it.
Yeah.
A lot of
Because
good points.
John Oliver was like, to his credit, which I didn't expect, he was all about how good wrestling is and
He's
how
a-
much he really enjoyed like,
like a big
I
all of
just
the
like
ridiculousness.
his. No one. Sorry, this show does not have a man that will explode through a table.
And it's actually in the title now.
It's every other show.
Have you
Every
seen-
other show may as well be.
Yeah, so you know John Oliver is, right?
Nope.
He does Last Week Tonight on HBO. Have you never watched Last Week Tonight?
No,
He's
sir.
gonna be Zazu in the new.
He's
Lion
Zazu in the
King.
new Lion King. He used to be on Daily Show.
He's the British guy that used to be on the Daily Show with Jon
He's
Stewart.
British.
He was in Community. He was goddamn.
He's
Zach,
wonderful, Zach.
What do you do with your time?
How have you avoided John Oliver?
How have you lived this long?
Under a rock?
Like,
Like Patrick? Man.
Because I know he hadn't been in no weeaboo ass shit. So
He's not in One Punch Man, unfortunately. But he did a thing talking about how wrestlers are they're labeled independent contractors, which means that they have no like benefits, and how ridiculous it is that a place where you are what is happening over here?
There's
There's
a
an
baby otter fighting with a pillow, and it's adorable.
baby otters are ridiculously adorable.
Its head is too big that it keeps falling over.
Wrestlers are independent contractors.
There's just something about Zach's description that just tickled me just right. Like his head is too big, so he keeps falling over.
I've said so many times on this show that you just get fucking weirder and weirder every week. Like, I don't know who hurt you. I have an idea, but I don't know what made you so goddamn strange.
Well,
They're looking up videos of big-headed
I'm
otters
not looking
falling
it up.
over.
It just happened to be in my feed, and it was cute.
What kind of soulless monster are you that you don't find that otter adorable?
It's a goddamn show we're doing.
So,
And
We're doing a program here. We're trying to entertain the people out there, not ourselves.
I can do both.
people, I'm sure, are very entertained right now.
They can't see the otter. The only thing they have is the description.
Now, everybody, like, if you say baby otter, everybody's like, oh. Like, you don't have to see a goddamn picture of it. Every baby otter is adorable.
No, we'll take that bet. I'm looking up ugly baby otters right now.
Yeah, you go right on ahead. You will not find a single one.
Ugly baby.
Yeah, you're gonna
Oh
get
no, there'll be a lot of those. There's some
I mean,
babies
maybe
that come
before
out.
its fur comes in.
Oh my god. That's not an otter, but goddamn. Holy shit.
I can't even see what you're looking at, but that was still funny. The people that entertained, I'm sure. Probably.
Zach, you look at this and tell me what that is.
Is it a naked mole rat?
that's
'Cause
a
those things
baby
are
armadillo.
It looks like a baby armadillo,
hideous.
yeah.
Yeah, baby armadillos are ugly as fuck.
But then I saw the blobfish. Of course, the blobfish is just
The blobfish are funny though.
they're terrifying.
They are.
Do you know they don't look like that at
And then
all?
this.
Like in their the correct depth of sea.
Yeah, the reason that blobfish look so terrible is because they're not getting the right amount of
It's not the pressure,
Yeah.
because they're used to being so deep underwater.
yeah.
That they look completely different in their natural environment. You get them out of the water, and suddenly they're not used to the lack of pressure,
And their
they
faces
just
literally
kinda
just squished
bleh.
down. They look like grumpy old men. Yeah.
Like I think it actually kills them.
Well, fuck, that's less funny now. So I guess the motherfucker of the week will just be me for not finding baby otters cute.
No.
I mean, I
No,
found it cute.
We can't make you a motherfucker of the week for that.
I've been motherfucker of the week before.
I just like to say you didn't find a picture of an ugly baby one.
I didn't.
Yeah,
No, I
that's what
failed.
a blobfish looks
I
like
failed
in
in that
its
mission.
natural environment.
Kind of looks like a weird pufferfish. With
Right?
Really
Yeah,
long
yeah,
lips.
kind of, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It doesn't have its nose anymore.
you're right. Versus, of course, if you take it out of water, Mother of God.
I maintain that baby blobfish or blobfish out of water look like every baby I've ever seen. And when Tanner was like, "Hey, look at my daughter, and she adorable," right after she was born, I was like, "That's a blobfish."
Newborn babies all look like blobfish.
Yeah, and it's not a shot at Tanner's baby. It's every baby I've ever seen is like, "You're just
Yeah.
ugly."
It's because their head just had to squish through something that's not supposed to.
It's not supposed to stretch that far.
No.
Unless you're fucking Lexington Steel. It does not stretch that far.
I don't get that joke.
Oh, look up Lexington Steel.
No.
Don't turn safe search
Don't
on.
do it.
Do yourself a
I
favor.
don't plan on doing that.
It's like sticking a 2 liter of 2 liter of Pepsi through like a keyhole. You know?
Jesus
Ugh.
Christ.
It's like shoving a tub of cookie dough through.
All
You
right, we're
get the
done
joke,
here.
right? You get
Yeah,
the joke.
I get the joke.
His
The
dick
point
is very big.
The point is,
He played Nick Fury in the porn parody of Avengers.
anyway, the point is, yeah, no, when your head like has gone through that, it messes like because their skulls are squishy when they're born. Like
Yeah.
that's
For a reason.
yeah, that's a thing that happens. It's human and all that good stuff. So yeah, they look weird as shit for the first week or 3.
You know how I would rather be born, honestly?
How's that?
Chest burster. I want to pop out of someone's chest screaming.
But then your mom would have died way sooner.
Oh. Hey, death's death. Doesn't matter how fast we get there. Speaking of which, and then we'll get to the we have another countdown for you tonight of cartoons that Lindsay found. She researched today, 2 minutes before the show started. They have started to release it's in the like 40th anniversary, I think, of Alien, or 50th or something like that. They're putting out shorts now, which are kind of neat. Based on the Alien franchise, it's done through like the actual producers and stuff. So they have one out right now called like Contamination, I think, or Containment, and it's pretty good.
Those have dropped finally.
It's a weird guy.
I think it's the 40th.
I mean, that was
by
a
the
car
way.
horn.
Oh,
Also, I am relieved that you didn't list 2K or Gearbox as your motherfucker of the week.
oh shit, yeah, no. So
For this-
in actuality, the motherfucker of the week is still Vince McMahon.
Okay. Because I'm getting sick and tired of the goddamn circle jerk that's happening right now over this Borderlands 3 stuff.
On which side? Because like I assumed that the backlash against the Epic Store thing was going to be so severe that everyone kind of joins hands and does it, right? But then I saw a video by Boogie298, who I'm a fan of,
Yeah.
and he was talking about how he has just been getting smashed online by not only people who disagree with him and being critical of the Epic Store thing, but even game developers like David Jaffe was shitting on him.
Because I
And
saw the
saying,
video when he was talking about it. Like he was like as civil as could possibly be.
He usually is.
And he was talking about like how it's not the developer's fault. Nobody should get mad at the developer. Nobody should take it out on the game. Like if you want to get mad at the publisher that made the deal. But I'm just getting tired of like the I don't like that it's exclusive to the Epic Game Store. So for those of you that haven't been following this Borderlands 3 drama, we're going to talk about it on Nerd
Zach.
Up. But so Borderlands 3 on PC for the first 6 months, the only way to get a hold of it will be through the Epic Game Store. Like that's going to be the exclusive distributor for the digital version of the game, which I don't think they're going to have a physical version or anything like that. Which even if you do, it's a PC game now, so it'll be a code that you'll have to redeem through the Epic Game Store. Regardless, everybody's getting all pissed off because for the first 6 months of a release, you have to get it through the Epic Game Store. And people just don't want to. They've got like some fairly valid reasons. Like I know they've apparently had some data breaches in the recent past, which is less than ideal. Other people are talking about that it's spyware for the Chinese government. It's not. Like Tencent has stock in Epic Game Store, which, by the way, guys, if you're upset about that, you should also get off Reddit. You can't use Spotify anymore.
Oh, shit, I'm out.
It's Tencent's got their hands in just about everything. But yeah, no, so people are getting really uppity about it. Spyware, blah, blah, blah. It's not.
Like, I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of exclusives in general.
Yeah, no, like I would very much rather it be available on both platforms.
Yeah.
And then if Epic, wants to pay a little extra and get like a deal where they can be selling the game for $50 instead of $60, and create some competition there between the two,
Or just do what GameStop does and get an exclusive bonus for ordering it.
yeah, like something like that. Like I get it in terms of the business perspective, because even if you make it like super appealing, if they're like, yeah, you get the game here, you'll get the season pass for free, it's $10 off, you get all this extra content if you get it through Epic, people are still going to pay the $60 and get it on Steam.
I would.
Yeah,
Like Steam is just a better service than Epic.
right, because Epic is still new. Like it's not like it's getting started and everything else, and it's not Steam, and Steam is so ingrained in everybody that they don't want to go to it.
But there's room for competition as long as the competition is competent. And Epic
Good luck.
Yeah, Epic Store is just lacking. It lacks so many features that Steam has.
No, and
Literally, they're just throwing extra money at these developers to get them. It's not like they're offering anything great. They're just offering the developers more money.
right, so that basically they can build their market share.
Right, which makes sense. Like it does. It's like when they came out with what's the new shooter, Zach, that's popular. That's not Fortnite.
Apex.
Apex Legends.
I'm not
Oh.
Zach, but
I'm trying to include him.
Well, you said shooter, and then there's lots of shooters.
Yeah, but this is one of the, what do they call them? Battle Royale style games?
Yeah.
Whenever they came out with Apex Legends, I forget who makes Apex. It's,
EA.
Yeah, Respawn.
Yeah.
Respawn. They paid Ninja, who, if you don't know who Ninja is, right?
What?
Because I don't know who Ninja is. Only because I follow these stories. Ninja, do you know who Ninja is?
No.
He's a crybaby.
This is the weird part. This is where you get into the level of what's a celebrity nowadays. Because
So he's one of the top Fortnite players?
he is the top Fortnite player. He makes millions just playing Fortnite. He's the top streamer.
It's disgusting.
He is a celebrity. You don't know who he is.
No.
And celebrities used to be so clear cut, and now I don't know anymore. But anyway, when Apex Legends came out, they paid Ninja like $1 million to promote it. Just to play it. They were like, here's $1 million. Will you play our game and talk about it? And Apex Legends is already the highest grossing free-to-play game of all time.
I mean, like,
Which is insane.
my understanding is it is objectively better than Fortnite.
Well, it's Titanfall 2. It's Titanfall 2 just without the mechs, is what it is.
In a battle royale game, which is a dumb popular game mode right now.
I'm not a fan of it. I know one guy at the table who is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you know what I'm talking about. How much money did you spend on Fortnite? That's right.
Probably $20.
Well, I guess that's not that bad.
And I don't even play anymore.
I was about to say you spent way more on Marvel Heroes.
Don't talk to me.
Hey.
League of Legends.
You could have also thrown Marvel Heroes back at me.
What are you looking at? Which one did you put money into?
None.
Dress Up Nikki?
None.
We all have our vices.
I'm just extremely happy right now because I've discovered that Blizzard is having a sale on all their Murloc merchandise, and there's a ton of it, and I want it.
There's where her money's going. Like, she's about to
Goddamn.
get a whole goddamn army of Murlocs.
Weird is what she is.
Look at it.
That is weird. That is such an odd looking
It's one of the plush ones from the game.
I want to see.
How much is he?
He's
That is
$20.
That is
That's
an
not
odd looking
bad.
Murloc.
That's what I
And
spent
they
on
also
Fortnite.
have
Yeah.
a Murloc Kirigumi.
Goomy.
I don't think it's a goomy Murloc.
Kira room. It's the pajamas that look like a Murloc.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You ever wonder sometimes how people have survived this long? Like how they actually survived? Like how they didn't walk into a freezer and lock themselves in somehow?
Because I might not seem like it, but I'm rather competent. Thank you.
No, I said I was talking about you.
You were talking about.
Like we're talking about old Dreads over here.
Uh-huh.
Old Dreads.
Who doesn't know
Captain Zac Sparrow. That tickled him.
I just don't know how he's lived this long without having a smart Democrat like John Oliver tell him what to do. Like the rest of us. All right, Lindsay.
Yeah.
To bring you back into the fold, let's bust out that list.
Okay.
So you have to stop shopping.
I wasn't shopping. I was browsing.
Hey, guys, don't put your wallet anywhere near a woman. You know what I mean?
I get paid tomorrow. Thank you.
I do too. Yeah.
I was about to say she makes more money than you, but I don't think she
I
does.
don't.
Well, none of us are happy about that, believe me.
Yeah, no.
This isn't one of those times where I'm going to dance because I'm like, yeah, I'm number 1 again because I'm still like number 5. Even it's a small victory. But in her defense, she has health insurance.
Oh, yeah.
So if she needs to go to the doctor tomorrow, she doesn't have to go to the piggy jar and bust out pennies and hope they take them.
Yeah.
So you still win.
Shannon, what happens if you bust your piggy bank at home?
That piggy bank's dead.
I was about to say mothballs are coming out.
Yeah.
He better not break his piggy bank at home because it's either the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or Kermit the Frog.
Ooh.
Oh, dear. All right, Lindsay, what is this list you got for us tonight?
Okay, so I randomly was just kind of wanting to look up weird cartoons from the 90s. But
Flux.
But I came across a list that was titled 21 90s cartoons that were actually genius.
All right, I'm going to make a couple predictions. I figure, was Courage the Cowardly Dog in the 90s?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's probably going to be on the list because that's kind of one of those, even though it was popular, I feel like years later everybody was like, man, that show was brilliant.
I'm going to bet SpongeBob and Powerpuff Girls are also on there.
I think Powerpuff for sure. I don't know about SpongeBob.
No, I bet you anything SpongeBob's going to be on that list.
Zach, you sound like you do not like either of those shows.
I don't like SpongeBob.
I didn't.
I didn't like it when it first came out.
No, when I was a kid, I fucking loved SpongeBob.
So I'm still not a big fan.
I
of
only
SpongeBob.
watched it because my little brother would have it on.
It was delightful.
Tom
I
Kenny
used to
did
be,
the voice of
I
SpongeBob.
used to be completely annoyed by the theme song. There were a few episodes that entertained me, but I still feel like I liked Gary and Squidward better than SpongeBob and Patrick.
Well, that's because SpongeBob and Patrick needed helmets.
I know.
They had them in several episodes.
Jesus Christ. I think I've said it before, I used to get so unrealistically angry at SpongeBob for the things that they had on that show. Like, not unrealistic. It was just over the top. Like, there was no reason for me to be this angry. Like, there was an episode where they're like cooking underwater,
And there's fire.
and there was like a fly buzzing around underwater on the food. And I'm like, it's underwater. How's there a fucking fly buzzing
So
around?
in one episode, they actually were kind of like lost, and SpongeBob made a fire, and then Patrick was like, "So SpongeBob, if we're underwater, how does this fire exist?" And as soon as he said it, the fire went out.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny
Comedy.
stuff. So I mean, I could guess a whole bunch more that are going to be on this, but
But then that takes the fun out of the list.
that takes the fun.
So Lindsay, this is your panty raid. You're in the lead on this one.
Why does it got to be a panty raid?
It's a figure of speech, darling.
Okay, so we're gonna actually
goddamn,
do
everything
this.
about that fucking statement was so goddamn.
This is your Jew hunt. You're the
Yeah.
Nazi in charge this time.
Jesus Christ. Lindsay, please. Just hit
Yeah.
that list.
Okay, so number 21 is Our Real Monsters.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
I loved Our Real Monsters. It was kind of gross. I couldn't eat while watching it, but I really liked it. I still really like Ickis. I want my Funko Pop of him, and I still haven't got one.
So
I like Crumb.
literally, no one is going to get this reference. I don't think anyone's going to get this reference. And if you do, please let me know because I'm legitimately curious. I used to get that show confused with a TV show that was on. I thought it was on Sci-Fi, but now I don't remember. And I'm trying to find it, and this show may not have existed, but it was just called Monsters. No, that's my phone. I apologize. It was just called Monsters, and I could not. The show scared me so much I couldn't watch the opening.
I was gonna ask, do you mean the Munsters?
No. So here's what I remember about the show.
Very different.
And I'm curious if anyone out there knows what I'm talking about. It would be like it was a living room and they were watching a TV show and you kind of saw from behind. They was kind of zooming in and you couldn't see their faces or anything. And then when it would almost like turn, it would show them they were monsters. And it scared me so much as a kid. I could never watch beyond that point. I could never watch beyond showing them from behind.
Well, if it scared you, I never would have watched it.
And I don't know what it was. Just called Monsters.
That's kind of ringing a bell, but I got nothing.
I'm trying to find it real quick.
Well, I'll try and remember to post it to r/tip of my tongue tomorrow.
Oh wait, I think I found it. It was an anthology series, and it was on Sci-Fi. Yeah, and I'm just seeing pictures of them, and I don't like it.
So what was it called?
Monsters. Yeah, look at these fucking things. Look at this.
Oh, they just look like people from Halloween Town.
Ew.
They're super ugly and creepy, and yeah, like oh my god.
Yeah, that's weird. I've never heard of that one.
I'm gonna have to watch that intro later and see if I can stand it this time. All right, Lindsay, go ahead.
Okay. Number 20 is The Magic School Bus, which I liked the book series
I'm
a
gonna deep
lot.
throat this mic.
And I vaguely remember there being like jokes in it for parents that were watching with their kids. Because my little brother watched this series. I didn't.
I was trying to find this Monsters thing. What was it called?
The Magic School Bus. You know,
I
like
liked
Miss
the
Frizzle.
Magic School Bus.
Aren't they
That
doing
was
a
good
live action
show.
movie of that or
It's
something? Or a reboot
on
or something?
They have
Netflix
a
or
reboot,
Hulu.
kind
I
of,
have no
on
idea.
Netflix.
Is it
Yeah,
live action or
there's-
cartoons?
No, it's still
It's
a cartoon,
animated, but it's like her younger sister,
which is
the
weird
teacher
because
now.
it's still the kids.
Is it still the
It's
same
the same
kids?
kids. Miss Frizzle went to college, and her sister is teaching them now.
Wait, why is Miss Frizzle? She didn't have a teaching degree?
Maybe she's getting her master's.
She's a teacher at college now. She's like a professor.
Oh, okay. I think you meant she went to college to get her degree.
No.
So like this dumbass teacher just stole this bus that could
I
shrink.
mean, in
and,
fairness, teachers can go back to school, get their masters, or
I'm a
PhDs,
teacher.
stuff
I'm
like
done learning.
I had a sociology teacher at Shawnee who did not have a degree, and she made sure to mention that, like when you first took her class. I always thought that was weird.
that. Like she didn't have like a collegiate, like no.
She
no
just said
teaching,
she didn't
nothing?
have a teacher's. She didn't have a teacher's license or whatever it is. She just taught. It was
Damn.
sociology, and she wasn't very good.
I mean, my animation professor was finishing out his master's in art while he was teaching us, but he'd worked at Disney for like 15 plus years.
I guess maybe if you're teaching sociology, just as long as you've ever been social, they'll let you. She made sure to tell us that she had a list of names of people that she felt threatened by, and if anything ever happened to her, that list would go to the FBI.
Okay.
Yeah. This one was a doozy.
Yeah, she sounds like a real winner.
She was
All right, Lindsay, what we got next?
Number 19, Animaniacs,
Yes,
legitimately,
which will
brilliant
also
show.
be making a return in 2020.
That sounds
I
right.
think is
Because I
when
remember I
it's-
heard about it. Yeah, coming back.
Which I'm totally excited because
Everything old is new
Yakko, Wacko,
again.
and Dot's voices are all returning, as is Maurice LaMarche for the brain.
Yes.
You mean Rob Paulson?
Rob Paulson is Yakko.
Oh yeah,
and
so,
Pinky.
No, I have a legitimate motherfucker of the week. Rob Paulson
Why?
is the motherfucker of the week.
Why?
I was watching a special on Bubsy, the Bobcat.
Yeah.
There was a cartoon of Bubsy, and he voiced Bubsy. So he's officially the motherfucker of the week this week.
But I like Rob Paulson.
But he was Bubsy.
Well, he was a lot of voices.
There's so many.
None
That
of
was
them were
actually-
Bubsy.
He was also Arthur on the Tick.
But is that Bubsy though? Do you know
No.
who? Do you know who
yes,
Bubsy
I know
is?
who Bubsy
Okay.
is.
Because Rob Paulson was supposed to be at ICC that year that had Maurice LaMarche and then also the rest of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And it also had the voice of Wacko.
I
think it was that. I can't remember his name.
I have him on Facebook.
Yeah,
What
Jess
is his
something.
last name?
You're friends with him on Facebook? That's neat.
I follow him.
Oh yeah, that's neat
But I
too.
don't remember his Jess something.
Jesse Smollett.
No.
That's Jussie.
No, I think it was Tracy Morgan said he lost the rights to the U. they took that away.
Yeah, I don't remember that guy's name. But either way, they were all there. Like, and I remember because I didn't realize at the time that Rob Paulson also voiced Pinky, and we could have had an opportunity for Pinky and the Brain in a panel, and that didn't happen.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Jess Harnell.
Yeah, that's it. Jess Harnell.
I did not like Pinky and the Brain as much as everybody else. I thought it was okay, but I much prefer just Animaniacs.
I mean, I also like Animaniacs more, but
They have their moments though, like
Yes.
in the before they do the taking over the world
Are you thinking what I'm thinking,
through
Pinky?
analysis of history. They have the best. I died laughing in the car because I had one of the songs in there and it was leading into it, and it was Brain talking to him, and then it's just Pinky. Do you know every time your mouth moves, weird sounds come out, and I just like die.
Also, Maurice LaMarche is just one of the funniest dudes that I have ever seen in a panel.
Wasn't he Egon?
And Calculon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many things. Morbo.
Yeah, a lot of those voice actors, like Jim Cummings.
Yes.
Did, like, if you have a show you enjoyed as a kid,
They were your
Cummings in it.
childhood.
Nowadays, with these anime ones, it's like Vic Mignogna and
No, he's not in, like, anything
even
anymore.
they're going out the door now. I don't know this new set that's coming in through.
A lot of
they
like
don't keep the magic. They don't have the same magic.
Well, a lot of the ones from like the early 2000s, like the voice actors, like Vic, who could only do one voice,
Or the guy that did Spike Spiegel. What the fuck was his name? Steve.
Give
Bloom?
me a second. Yeah.
Steve Bloom.
yeah, like any of those guys that could only do one voice and they just did the same voice for every character they did. Like they could still act with it and everything, but it was the same voice. Funimation has gotten rid of a lot of those guys.
Other than Todd Abercorn.
Yeah, 'cause he's easy to pick out too.
I would say no one ever did that to Kevin Conroy, but then I'm like, I can't remember another person he voiced other than Batman.
Nope. Yeah, I think Batman is the only thing he's ever voiced.
I'm sure he's voiced other things. It's just that's what he's known for,
Well,
To a lot of people, he is Batman.
And
Yeah.
wasn't Jim Cummings Megatron?
No.
No, because it was Peter Welker.
That's Frank. No, you're thinking Frank Welker.
Frank Welker was Megatron,
Was he?
and Peter Cullen was
Was
Optimus.
Optimus.
Yeah, okay, we got it. We're good, everybody. Zach, we're
We gotta
good.
figure it out.
Okay,
But anyway,
go
yeah.
on.
Next on your list. Yeah, we'll just
Next, number 18 is Dexter's Laboratory, one of my personal favorites.
phenomenal show.
I love Dexter's Laboratory.
I always feel so lost on these episodes that we
Omelette
do
du fromage.
because I didn't watch any of this stuff. This was during my phase where I was just watching the news.
Do
You thought it was just
Fromage.
okay?
It was all right.
Edie, get out of my laboratory.
I think there was only one good episode in my opinion, but
Go on, don't look at me. I got nothing for Dexter's Lab.
Okay, 17,
phenomenal show.
Sailor Moon.
That was a good one.
yeah,
I love Sailor Moon.
Watch Dragon Ball's not going to be on that list because no one thought it was brilliant.
that's why it's still going.
That was still going because of fucking slack-jawed yokels that pay money to watch big sweaty men fight each other. Oh, that's just wrestling. I should stop now. Sailor Moon is brilliant, and I'm pretty sure, I think it's safe to say at this point, Sailor Moon is finally actually done, maybe, because they keep reviving it, and like they did the musicals, they did
I'm
Crystal,
just ready for my dub of Stars, which will be out by the end of this year.
and then I think it's done. No, because they have another musical coming, don't they?
Yeah, they're doing something else along those lines.
It's like Into the Spider-Verse. It never has to end.
live on forever.
Good. She has her own theme park in Universal Studios Tokyo.
She's a dumb popular character.
I'm gonna be
And she's
really
going to be
popular
one of
franchise.
the Olympic ambassadors.
Oh my!
So is Goku.
Uh-huh.
Don't tell them,
Unfortunately.
Zach.
Okay, I'm listening.
But it's kind of hard to rewatch Sailor Moon.
It is, but I do it
I
anyways.
can understand. It was hard to watch it the first time.
I loved it the first time. No, I'm not gonna let him burn me on that. No.
No, it is hard to go back and rewatch it. That's why I got to the point I just skipped the episodes that I really liked.
Well, see, what I love about Sailor Moon is the comedy. Like that's the part I still enjoy about Sailor Moon because like the action is not greatly animated.
No.
There are some scenes that are cool. The storyline's okay, but like
If you get to the actual plot point episodes, yes.
I like the comedy. The random ass comedy was always funny to me.
Sailor Moon was very much not meant for young boys were not the target audience for Sailor Moon.
And I still watched it. Which is where my hatred of Dragon Ball came from. And I've said it
that was where that was the one targeted to young boys.
where it was like, you watch Dragon Ball? I like Sailor Moon. Faggot.
I mean,
Okay.
I watched both.
I'll beat your ass is what I'm saying.
I also
Not you,
watched.
and-
I also watched Sailor Moon, but I never had any idea what was going on because it was always one of those things. Like Dragon Ball was on afterward. Mm-hmm. So it was like,
And you didn't really need to know the plot for Dragon Ball. Big man fight big man.
I mean, you kind of needed to
Get
know
balls,
the plot,
make wish.
but you could.
They always
skip.
did enough overlap. If you actually missed a couple episodes, you're fine.
Yeah, you could skip 4 episodes.
if you
and
skip
be
4
clear.
episodes of Sailor Moon, you're like, who's that?
Well,
Where'd
unless
the
they-
other
well,
person go?
Unless they were Monster of the Day episodes.
Yeah.
Because there's of every Sailor Moon season, if it's 30 episodes, there's 5 episodes that matter. And the rest are just filler.
good old
Well, they
Really
tried
good,
doing
yeah.
that with Crystal, and then I got upset because you didn't have time to get to know any of the characters.
That's true. I do like some of that. But there needs to be a good middle ground. Anyway, let's move on. We can't talk
Number
about Sailor Moon all
16,
night, Zach.
The Wild Thornberries.
Yeah.
Never watched it.
I like that show.
The dad is voiced by Tim Curry.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. They had a movie that I remember.
I just didn't like the art style of this series. I love Debbie. Debbie is the best. But
You know, my dad, like every time that he came in, we were watching the Wild Thornberries because me and my little brother loved that show.
my little brother did too. That's the only reason I watched it, because he'd have it on.
Yeah, it was something about like being able to talk to animals just was really fucking cool. And yeah, my dad, every time we walked in, like, why y'all like that fucking monkey girl so goddamn much?
I just like Donnie.
Donnie.
Voiced by the drummer for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes.
That
Flea.
doesn't. No,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
basis. Yeah, Flea's the basis.
Zach, please.
Shannon, look
Don't
it up.
question my Red Hot Chili Pepper knowledge.
Shannon, it's the basis.
Also, I need someone. You might be right. I'm gonna look it up.
very
real quick.
right.
I'm gonna look it up though.
But I think it is
It-
Flea
it
that
is
voices.
Flea that voices him.
It
Donnie,
is,
though. Yeah,
but
I
he's
thought
the
it was-
basis.
Thought it was the drummer too.
While you're looking that up, should I move on?
I just want someone to take the sound clip of Jesse saying, "Why you guys love that fucking monkey girl so much?" And yeah, the Chili Peppers. Chad Smith apparently is their drummer.
Huh.
What fucking cartoons he been in? Nothing.
Yeah, I thought he was the drummer.
I always
but-
thought Flea was the drummer. Yeah, I learned something new today.
No,
I
yeah,
was
he's
today years old.
he's like the crazy. I think he plays like a 5-string
In his
bass.
underwear.
Yeah, most of the time.
Well, you're lucky if they're wearing underwear most of the time.
You're lucky if they're not. Let's move on.
Number 15, another personal favorite, Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
He was a sex phone operator.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
Turn the page, wash your hands. Turn the page, wash your hands.
Rocco's Modern Life was a phenomenal show.
I used to try to set up late and watch that show, and because if they played it really late at night, and I never got to catch it all the time, so I would I just remember playing it or watching it while I played like the original Mario Brothers, and that was just a good combo for me.
No, but I liked Rocco.
I didn't have 2 TVs in one room where that was possible.
We had
The king over
and-
here.
yeah, you should have seen the TVs. Got that good old 16-inch CRTV where the TV was only, I know you can't see it at home, but it was like this.
It was like the
big,
size of your face.
but then it extended out this far because of the tube.
Yeah, see, we actually did have a pretty big TV when I was a kid. It was like a 24-inch TV or something, a 27-inch TV. But we called it Big Bertha because it was an ancient CRT. It was my dad's first color TV.
So it probably weighed as much as one of you was as a kid.
Yes, and it had the turn knobs. It only got 12 channels.
Yeah. That's when
yeah.
you hook the VCR up to that sucker. It stays on channel 3, and then you go up through the rest.
That is correct. What you got next, Lindsay?
Number
You're in charge.
14, Recess.
That was a good show.
I
That was
liked
a good
Recess.
show.
We watched that
was a
into
good show.
college.
No, it's fair. Like that was
Back
a really
when
good
Saturday
show.
morning
Yeah.
cartoons were still a thing.
All right, let's speed it along.
I don't
We're-
feel that
we're 3
13
minutes
should be
out.
on here because I think it should have been part of one of the other ones, but 13 is Pinky and the Brain.
That's
Well, I mean, there was its
Animaniacs.
own separate show.
It did have its own separate show,
Yeah.
but I preferred the segments to the show itself.
It wasn't the best segments that were on Animaniacs
No.
because that was either good idea, bad idea,
I loved Good Idea,
That
Bad
was
Idea.
fantastic.
or Chicken Boo.
I forgot about Chicken Boo.
Because you're not a man, you're a chicken boo. Boo knows baseball. It was the same joke every time.
Time that is just a chicken.
They would solve the mystery. They find out he was a chicken halfway through. It's so stupid, but I liked it.
Number 12 is Arthur.
Oh yeah, I liked Arthur.
I liked Arthur.
I like the
my,
memes that are based on Arthur now. Those are funny.
my little brother watched Arthur
Especially
a
the
lot.
hand clenching.
Yes,
Meme. That's probably my favorite.
So great. Number 11, X-Men.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so Batman's number 1 then.
Well,
No,
Spoiler
no,
alert.
no, it's not.
Is it really? Have you
It's
already looked at the
not.
list?
Yes, I have.
Cheater.
I know.
X-Men is the best because that was the best lineup of X-Men.
That's
in my
one of
opinion.
those ones that I didn't appreciate at the time, but now I absolutely love going back. And
I liked it
rewatching.
more than Batman at the time, even though I will admit Batman is a better show now. But I enjoyed X-Men more back then because I was a bigger X-Men fan. And this had all my X-Men. Cyclops, Jubilee, I think even Deadpool
Had an episode.
had an
or two.
episode, yeah.
I don't remember
Gambit
Deadpool
and-
being in there at all.
It
but,
was like
I mean,
a
he might have
cameo.
been.
It was like a cameo.
The only thing I remember from my last rewatch of it, which I rewatched it back and it had to have been 2011 because I rewatched it while I was working at Cross Trails at the time. And I just remember the episode where like Wolverine was in Japan And there's this nearby village, and this person just runs up to Wolverine's little hut. Wolverine, they're attacking our village. It's just like the most racist stereotype like accent ever. And I remember because I was working while I was watching this, and I had to pause it. And I was like, now hold on a goddamn second.
Use your craws.
Wow.
All right, Lindsay, what's next?
Number 10, Hey Arnold.
That's a phenomenal show.
Yes.
I was so jealous of that kid's house or room.
Seriously.
I didn't watch Hey Arnold. You know what I called Hey Arnold?
Football head.
I called it Bye Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. That doesn't make any sense. Number 9, King of the Hill.
Yeah.
It's only number 9?
Which we re-frequent very often.
Thank God it got added to Hulu.
Yeah. King of the Hill should be known. That is such a good comedy.
It
you like
is.
King of the Hill?
Sometimes.
It's
It's another one of the ones I didn't like when it first came out, but I will sit and watch it whenever now.
I still maintain I think The Simpsons is funnier, but I think King of the Hill is better. Like King of the Hill is a better show.
Oh yeah, King of the Hill is a better show. When I was younger, yeah, same with Lindsay. Like I didn't like it a whole lot, but it was on right before The Simpsons, so I was like, fuck it, I'll watch it. And I ended up like growing to like it a whole lot as a kid.
Before
too.
Seth MacFarlane just completely fucked
Fox. Yeah, no, it'd be like
Yeah.
Fox became like Fox's cartoons became the Seth MacFarlane show.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Number 8, the Powerpuff Girls.
Told you it's gonna be there.
Yep.
I like the Powerpuff Girls.
I do too. I love the Powerpuff Girls.
I love
Did you
Mojo
know that-
Jojo.
The new one is terrible.
Oh no, the new one fans flushed down the toilet.
Thank God.
Did you
I
know
was about-
that
I
the
did not know there was a new one.
They didn't bring back any of the voice actresses from the first one,
Oh, you
and
can't have it without Tara
fans
Strong.
shat all over it.
Did you know the dad was Samurai Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real?
No.
Okay, I saw the meme and I'm like, because they do look exactly the same.
Yeah.
I mean, they even have the same billboards and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's in the same universe.
That
Yeah.
needs to be a conspiracy theory show.
It probably is.
I think that is legitimate. It's in the same universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same talking dogs.
Yep.
Number 7, Batman the Animated Series.
Shockingly low.
Yeah.
So that means Dragon Ball's first.
I figured that would have been top 5 for sure.
I think number 1 at this point, number 1 would probably be. No.
It's good. Number 1 is gonna be SpongeBob.
Unfortunately, probably.
Is it?
I'm not telling.
It is.
You'll find out when we get there.
All right. What's number 6?
Number 6 is Doug. Which
That's
I
a good
loved
shit.
Doug. Doug was so good. It was so
Until they-
mundane
until they redid it.
Disney got a
Yeah.
hold of it.
And
Yeah,
completely changed it.
I really liked it pre-Disney. Post-Disney was okay, but it wasn't the same.
I didn't like.
still get Killer Tofu stuck in
Yes!
my head like frequently.
I like the movie.
I like Quail Man.
Yes.
It is
Quail Man was good.
Quail Man is great.
Number 5, The Tick.
Tick was always really.
That was good shit.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that's top 5 though.
Oh,
well,
like, it
these
was
are
good, but-
90s cartoons that were genius.
Yeah.
No,
the
I mean, I
Tick-
get it,
Yeah,
but-
but the Tick cartoon was like one of those. No one watched it. I
Yeah.
did. I liked it.
I liked the
I
Tick.
watched
Yeah.
it.
But after
I
it
didn't
was,
get it, but I watched it.
after it was over, everybody was like, "Holy shit, that show was brilliant." And I was like, "Really? It was good. It wasn't brilliant." Here's a couple other cartoons that aren't going to be on your list that should be. There was a Super Dave Osborne cartoon that was amazing. One of my personal favorites that I don't know how many of you guys watch, Eek the Cat.
Yes.
Remember Eek the Cat?
I
Remember
loved
Eek the
Eek
Cat.
the
Eek the
Cat.
Cat. It was so funny.
Or maybe I'm thinking of Felix.
Well, Eek was like he was just that purple cat, and he had the fat ass
The
girlfriend.
fat pink cat.
Oh, okay. No, I do
Yeah.
remember that one. Yeah.
And then wasn't there also like another cartoon on that where it was like cavemen?
Yes.
And
It
with the-
was kind of like how Garfield and Friends had
Yeah,
the Orson's
yeah.
Farm segments. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is Garfield on the list?
All right. Let's get the rest of this top
Is
5.
Garfield number 1?
No.
Number 4 is Daria,
Well,
Which-
skip to
which
number
I
3.
can get behind completely because I
Skip
love
to
that
number
show.
3.
Daria was good.
They're bringing her back.
Number 3 is Gargoyles.
Good.
Fuck yeah. That should
I-
not be
I-
higher than Batman. but
I
fuck
want
yeah.
to rewatch Gargoyles. It has been so long.
I was
Oh yeah, I have
Keith
not
David.
watched that
Yeah.
since I was a kid.
Keith David as
Goliath.
Goliath.
I mean, you can't get any better than that.
I fucking loved that show. Yeah, me and my little brother, all the fuck about gargoyles. That was number 3 on our number of toys list. it went. Yeah, it was Batman was number 1.
Ninja Turtles.
Number 2 was Ninja Turtles, and then fucking gargoyles.
I know what number 2 is. Bonkers. Bonkers the cat. When he
That
was the
a good
cop.
show, too.
No,
I know what you're
that
talking
show
about.
was terrible.
What?
No,
It
fuck
was a
that.
good
I like
show.
that show.
I
hated
enjoyed it.
Bonkers. Number 2 is actually Rugrats.
Oh, I liked Rugrats.
I
when
can
was a
see
I
kid.
don't have anything against Rugrats.
No, I liked Rugrats. I remember when Rugrats and Doug premiered, we were at a cookout at a friend's house, and I asked them if I could go inside and use their TV because I wanted to watch it.
Nice. Very
Also
nice.
had Tara Strong in it.
Yes.
Sarah Strong was in everything.
She was. And she was only in like 1 or 2 live action movies.
And E.G. Daily is
Yeah.
Tommy Pickles.
Yep.
They're both gorgeous too.
Yeah.
Like
Sarah Strong is still attractive.
Probably so is E.G. Daily, to be fair.
Any last guesses at number 1?
Still saying SpongeBob.
I'm gonna go with the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Was that the 90s? That wasn't 80s?
I'm pretty sure it was the 90s.
Zach?
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Street Sharks.
Number 1.
Biker Mice from Mars was better than that.
Holy shit! I love me some biker mice from Mars.
That was a phenomenal
That was
fucking
also
show.
a Rob Paulson cartoon.
Was it really?
Uh-huh.
that's
He was
cool
the main
shit.
mouse.
Oh, what a whore!
Yeah.
He got around.
So, number 1 is The Simpsons.
Oh goddamn!
Like, should that even be that? Like,
That started in the 80s.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's where I'm kind of like,
When did SpongeBob start? Because that wasn't on the list at all. And that
2000.
surprises
No,
the
what's the
shit
name
out
of
of
the
me.
list?
I think it started either in
it's
99 or 2000.
21 cartoons from the 90s that were actual masterpieces.
Okay, like I feel like The Simpsons should not be on that list because it's not like anyone questioned that it was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
The Simpsons is one of those cartoons that when you say what are the greatest animated shows of all time, Simpsons is like number 1.
And where's Spider-Man? Spider-Man
where
was
was
pretty good.
Spider-Man? Yeah, the
Okay.
90s Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, SpongeBob's still okay. No, I can see it not counting because it came out at the end of 1999.
So right on the precipice.
Yeah, so it couldn't really be like a 90s cartoon since. Yeah.
I still feel like that's like this should be a list of like ones that people missed that were
Okay.
brilliant, not ones that were like everyone knows they're
Knows.
brilliant. That would be like saying, well, hey, here's the best paranormal shows of all time. You may not have heard about number 1, X-Files.
I mean, in fairness, like it said,
I didn't say it was going to be a good list.
No, it is
but
a good list.
It is a good list, and yeah, no, like I kind of see what Shannon's saying, but at the same time, I feel like they were true to the list. If they were talking about shows or cartoons in the 90s, but the problem is like The Simpsons not contained to the 90s,
Yeah.
Right.
and that was the only show in that list that wasn't, in my opinion, like every other show on that list. I think 90s when I think
Yeah.
of that. Simpsons is just
Well, Simpsons is
Simpsons is just
yeah.
all ongoing.
right, like that.
'Cause
That's
there's only 2 of those on there that still have continuation dates, and that's Simpsons and Arthur.
Wait, Arthur's still on?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
It doesn't surprise me. PBS, like,
Yeah.
they don't have
That's
very
And
very
Arthur's
properties.
big on pushing reading and
I feel
educational
like
stuff.
That's like their spokesperson at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely is.
There were a lot. I can't think of any, but there were a lot of great cartoons that were brilliant that should have been on that list. I mean, I can't think of any though. And that makes me so sad.
You should be
That's
really
because you're on the
happy.
spot.
Tailspin was pretty good.
I liked Tails.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, no, Darkwing
Rescue
Duck should have been on
Rangers.
there.
In
for
fact, there was
sure.
like no Disney ones on there, was there?
Recess.
yeah, Recess.
I
is
said
the
what
only-
meant. Any of the Disney lineup in the 90s would have been.
I mean,
There's a lot- there's a lot of
Gargoyles
really
was
good-
on there too.
Gargoyles is
Gargoyles was
Disney.
on there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Aladdin.
Wait, was Gargoyles Disney?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Aladdin was alright.
I always liked the Aladdin
The,
cartoon.
just like-
the movie cartoons were not like they did not live up to the movie.
I watched Hercules a lot.
I
Where he was
I
a teenager
enjoyed
Yeah.
The
in
Little Mermaid,
college.
Aladdin, and Hercules animated series.
Yeah, I really liked Hercules. I watched that quite a bit.
Yeah.
But
I always remembered like every time I watched those like the ones based on the movies being really disappointed because obviously they couldn't get the same voice actors.
Yeah.
So they-
except Hercules actually had Tate Donovan, I'm pretty sure.
Did
Yeah.
they really? Because I thought it was
Yeah.
a different voice.
But nobody else.
because
Like
they didn't
they-
have Danny DeVito or anything.
No, it didn't have Danny
that.
DeVito. It didn't have Sandra
John
Bernhard.
Goodman.
No,
No.
it did have Sandra Bernhard. I don't remember.
For-
Whoever the girl was in the
they're-
movie was not the same girl
they're-
in the show.
Yeah.
But it didn't have John
They
Goodman,
had
and
her
that's
for the
it.
pilot of it, and that was it.
Yeah, otherwise it was everyone was new except for Hercules, and
Yeah.
then Phil was.
Because they were all younger
Right.
in it anyways.
Tarzan was alright.
I never watched.
I don't think I
Tarzan.
ever watched the Tarzan
It wasn't too bad. It definitely wasn't Tarzan though.
I'll tell you, we're talking about movie cartoons. The most disappointing thing I could ever remember, and I wish Asa was here to talk about it. We'll end on this because we gotta get out of here. But I remember when they announced a live-action Ninja Turtle show. That was
Oh
coming to
no!
Fox. I was so excited.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
like-
So were
I
we.
was like, holy shit, I can watch, it's like Power Rangers. I can watch Ninja Turtles like every day.
Yeah.
This is great. And then they came out with the next mutation.
Yeah.
And it was
I
the
mean-
worst thing.
It was awful.
In their defense, they're in there with the Power Rangers.
I've seen that
Yeah.
episode.
and
Yep.
it's terrible.
It is.
Yep.
And they have the girl turtle.
Oh, Venus.
yeah.
Whoa,
With
the Power
boobs.
Rangers, the Ninja Turtles.
And why does she
What are
have-
you doing here?
It's so terrible.
Why does she have breasts?
I
under her
don't
show?
know.
Yeah.
No, there's
No.
no,
And then
to really show off the fact like this is a female.
This is a girl
and,
turtle.
and it's weird because I was watching Forever Red, one of the episodes like where all the Red Rangers get together, and they're fighting the robot army from Zeo. And they're clearly Beetleborgs. But no one says anything that they're Beetleborgs. And I'm like,
God
Gotta
damn.
reuse
Like,
those
Well,
assets.
it was all Saban.
yeah,
so.
like it was Shadowborg and then the 3 main ones. And like they're all bad. But like
they're
on
Beetleborgs.
anytime that
I'm gonna have to
someone
go back
talks
and look
about,
that
like,
up now.
crossovers or anything, it's never...
Don't.
They never say it.
I haven't
Just
thought
don't
about
look
the
up
Beetleborgs.
Beetleborgs.
I haven't thought about the
No,
Beetleborgs
I meant the
or
episode
Beetleborgs
where
at
they're
all.
Oh, yeah.
fighting
Like
Big
Beetleborgs.
bad Beetleborgs.
The
My
big
my
bad I
brother
fucking
liked
love
Beetleborgs.
With the white one.
And the
So,
VR troopers.
my-
Yes,
Oh,
VR Troopers.
That dude was creepy when I was a kid.
Which one was the one with the blue Jay Leno head? It was like the dude with the big chin. Was that Beetleborgs?
I think that was
Yeah,
Beetleborgs.
because that was
don't
Flabber.
Yeah, I called.
He was the ghost.
Look up. Yeah, because I remember the ghost. Yeah.
And then there was Dracula and the Wolfman, Mummy,
What?
and Frankenstein.
I clearly don't remember.
Yeah.
What was his name? Frapper?
Flapper.
Flapper.
Yeah, the fun fact about me, the Beetleborgs, my generic old person voice came from Beetleborgs. Remember when like the 2 bullies, basically the Hulk and Skull of Beetleborgs, they got turned into old people in an episode.
Yeah.
They just talk like old people.
Well, yeah, they just had the most ridiculous voices. And I just remember, like, I don't remember much about that show, but the one line I remember is like, "Who do you think I am? John Wayne?" And that was just the funniest shit ever. So my generic old person voice is just straight up that. And also the girl that popped her knuckles, that's why I wanted to start popping my
Oh,
knuckles.
the red one.
Yeah, because she popped her knuckles to
Get her
start
super strength.
Yeah, get her super strength going. And then, like, ever since then,
I just love that the green one, he would just snap his fingers and he could go faster.
yeah.
And then the other dude
take
had to
that,
like
Flash.
nod his head and then
You know, like, Beetleborgs is the reason I pop my knuckles a lot.
I do it because of the pressure.
it was interesting. I mean, it was good
No.
when it was out. Try to watch it now.
I haven't
and
watched
it's
it
kinda,
since I was a kid.
I mean, most of those shows. I can't think of a single show that I watched other than The Simpsons or King of the Hill from that era that I'm like, it
Okay,
holds
there's
up.
a lot of
Batman?
cartoons that hold up really well. The live action like kids shows,
Yeah.
no. But like
Except for there's a weird case where the cartoon doesn't hold up, but the live action is better than ever. You know what I'm talking about?
Mario.
Super Mario.
Mario,
With
yeah.
Captain Lou Albano and Danny
Yeah.
Wells as Mario and Luigi. Those segments are fun, but the cartoon is very not.
Yeah.
I love that Captain Lou Albano. What was it? There was a thing he wouldn't or he had to take extra money to shave something. I think it was maybe his goatee. Like they had to pay
part of his beard or whatever.
Yeah, they had to pay him extra because he was so synonymous with wrestling that he didn't want to get rid of it. They're like, okay, but if you want to be Mario, you gotta do this. All right, we gotta get out of here. We're way over on time. I want to thank Zach for sitting in with us tonight. I want to thank Jesse and Lindsay obviously for being here, and I want to thank myself for putting up with her.
Damn.
Here's a video of 2 cats playing with string.
No, it was better. It was a baby otter. Kept
I'm
falling.
sorry, because I have to deal with you doing this on the show, and then I have to deal with Allie constantly doing this off the show. My life is a goddamn like
I'm gonna
Animal
buy
Planet
that
Junior.
Murloc onesie.
I just think
No
you
one
need
thought you weren't. Buying it. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be back on Sunday. It's an early show of Nerd Up because we got WrestleMania all day for the most part on Sunday.
Boo.
Yay.
We'll do this all again. I want to thank you guys for listening. We'll see you on Sunday. Later.